Wake that ass up.
Early in the morning.
The Breakfast Club.
Morning, everybody. It's DJ Envy, Angela Yee, Charlamagne the Guy. We are the Breakfast Club. Now, usually we jump into front page news, but this morning we have two gentlemen joining us. We have Rayshard Brooks, family attorneys. We have L. Chris Stewart and Justin Miller on the line. Good morning, brothers.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Now, can you tell us what's going on with the Rayshard Brooks case? I seen one of the officers do an interview, which is really strange. Usually you don't see that. So does it seem like he's going to cooperate with the DA and testify against the other cop? What's going on? Break it down for us.
Man, the devil's in the details. For him to come forward and do multiple interviews on TV, what he keeps saying is he is cooperating. So they can argue about the terms of, is he a government witness or is he, but he's cooperating. And I understand what the DA said. You understand the pressure that he's under right now of, saying he's going to come forward and actually testify against another cop. So, I get it. We understand it, long as he's going to testify and cooperate.
Are these charges going to stick, or are they just pacifying the community so they don't riot in Atlanta?
I mean, these are, I guess you would say, significant based on what we look at usually. I think they should stick. The DA here is really good, and so we have faith that they will. But like you all know, I mean, every single time this happens, we think something's gonna go our way, and it ends up not going our way. So we are optimistic, but we are watching with the side eye, like one eye open at all times,
For everyone who doesn't know all of the details, because we hear a lot of discrepancies in the reporting, can you tell us the sequence of events? Because we're hearing the cops are telling a different story from their attorney. So we just want to know from you what happened and what do we have evidence of?
So Rayshard was, passed out or asleep in the drive-thru. An attempt was made by the officer to wake him up. The officer is the one who actually ordered him to drive over to the side. They never saw him driving reckless. They never saw him doing anything in that vehicle other than being asleep in it. And the officer is the one who actually made him move the vehicle. You see a field sobriety test, which in our opinion was ridiculous. It was 40 minutes long, and they were trying everything in the world to catch him up. He was coherent. He was answering questions. He did everything that you're supposed to do when you give your child the talk with an officer. Be polite, be cordial,
deferential,
answer the questions, be nice. He did all of that. Right. He even said, you know what, can I walk home? My sister's right there. And the officer was like, hell no. And then it went left. We don't know what was in his mind, but what we do know is his wife and himself watched the death of George Floyd multiple times. So we don't know, nowadays it doesn't mean you're going to be safely put in a police car if you get handcuffed. So he freaked out. And it went from there. I mean, just because you get, you're going to get handcuffs put on you, that doesn't mean that you're going to still end up alive. So we don't know what happened.
Now, with the self-defense, deadly force, right? That's when the officer is supposed to be allowed to shoot. Now, that's going to be what they're going to try to prove, that Rayshard Brooks fired the taser, and that could be deadly force. Is there any way that an officer can say, okay, I used deadly force because I was scared of the taser? Is there any way that can happen? Because, I'm saying a lot of people saying this is going to be a hard one to prove.
It is going to be a hard one to prove. And he can say that, but we don't think that's a good argument. If you look at the video, he was going for the gun before Rayshard turned around and shot that taser in the air. So as he's chasing him, you can see him kind of drop his taser with his left hand, and with his right hand, he goes for his gun. Then you see Rayshard turn around with the taser, and then he turns back around. He's running. He gets actually 18 feet away from him, and then the officer shoots him in the back. So he was already planning to shoot Rayshard in the back. So using a self-defense argument about that taser doesn't really make much sense to me.
Now, when he shot the taser, one of the last questions, Charlamagne, when he shot the taser, the officers knew that he couldn't shoot the taser again. So there was no reloading the taser. So after he shot that taser, they knew he had nothing else, and they still continued to shoot.
Correct. They patted him down earlier in the stop that we were talking about before. They knew he didn't have any guns or deadly weapons on him, so all he had was that taser. So we think it's a bad incident all the way around.
And the officer that shot him put out a statement yesterday, and he said he shot because he heard a loud bang. So is it the taser, or are you trying to say you thought he had a gun, which you know he didn't have a gun because you patted him down, had his license in his car.
Right.
So it's, it's going to be a lot of stories in it.
How crucial is the testimony of the other officer in the conviction of these cops or this cop?
Man, it's crucial for this case, and it's crucial for the future cases. Like Charlamagne, you remember Walter Scott in Charleston, South Carolina.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And I had, I had that case back then, and the officers all backed up what Slager said, and we got a hung jury on the Walter Scott case, which people thought was just like this one. He's running from the cops, shot in the back. The cops said they fought over the taser, and one juror believed it. And then we were able to get the 20-year conviction from the federal case, but it's going to be just like that. He said, she said, and it really is going to be a lot about what this officer and what the witnesses, say.
Is it not frustrating to have it be he said, she said when there's a whole video, when you can see it detail for detail?
Right. It's that quote that I said, man, of Black people only get justice by video, and then that's rare. If you don't have a video, and we do a lot of these cases, it's sad because the first thing we ask is there video, ma'am or sir? Is there video of it? Because we already know it's going to be an uphill battle, because we know the police report is going to be filled with false statements, and he who writes the report rules, and that's the police officer. So it's just tough, man, because even with the video, doesn't mean justice coming.
The crazy thing about it to me is this, we went through like a whole Me Too movement, and we're still going through it. And that is a great movement. But people were asking everyone, believe women, right? But I want people to believe us too. Believe us when we say this happened. When you go to the police department, believe these people when they're saying, this is what this officer did to me. This is how I was violated. So, it should be the same type of movement for police brutality and violence that there is for Me Too.
What about witnesses?
If you're not gonna
I know we have
believe proof,
we
what's
have the video. Then what about witnesses that were there?
Yeah, actually, one of the witnesses is what Paul Howard actually ended up adding more charges for, because their car got hit by one of the bullets, and they had a car full of people. Like, man, that dude opened fire in a crowded Wendy's parking lot, acting like Rayshard had just robbed a bank or done something. To start shooting in that parking lot, it could have killed somebody else.
Almost killed somebody else.
Absolutely. Well, brothers, we appreciate you guys for checking in and giving some details. And please keep us posted to what's going on when everything starts, when the trial starts, and keep us posted to everything that's going on. We'd love to hear from you guys more.
And Chris, Nefertiti, Jaquez told me to tell you peace, man.
Man, that's the family, man. What's up?
Yeah, that's the homies.
Hey, I appreciate y'all, man. Y'all keep
Thank you so
talking
much.
about it, man. That's the only way this is gonna move, man, is if y'all keep talking about these cases.
And keep everyone in the streets. We need to keep the pressure up, up, up.
All right. We have L. Chris Stewart. Thank you. Justin Miller, Rayshard Brooks, family attorneys. And thank you, brothers, for calling in.
Oh, yeah, man.